right, everybody, we are back. I am looking like I'm about to start a job at a call center, and we are kicking off August 6th with another developer stream. My AirPods are dead, and here I am with this sick headset. Welcome, Steve, obviously back again, and Abel back again for the second time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, last time I think that was when we were talking about correction checks, I believe, which was a few months ago now. And everybody loved you. And Steve was like, "We need to get Abel back on." And I said, "Yes, I agree." And so we did. We're here. How are you guys doing?
Good, thank you. Excited for NFL football tonight.
Oh man,
We're back, baby.
I was telling one of our customers the other day. I was like, "It's so funny because the first half of the Hall of Fame game, I'm so invested, and then the second half, I'm like, all right, I'm done with preseason. I'm ready for a regular season now." It doesn't last very long where I'm like, this is so exciting, but the hype today is real for sure. So today we're talking MCP server stuff. This is obviously not my forte, as we have found out on every other dev stream, but this is obviously something that we do have questions about, and as we move forward with obviously AI, skills, everything that we've talked about along the road so far, this just kind of adds on to it. So Steve and Abel, you guys are obviously going to be the experts on this one. So we'll throw it over to you guys for how we're going to lay it out today.
Sounds good. Well, maybe I'll give it like a one-sentence preamble, and I'll throw it to Abel because he's going to be the star of the show. The goal of leveraging an MCP server is just to make it way easier for folks to build stuff. And I've been so it's so cool right now sitting in the chair that we get to sit in and see all the cool stuff that people are building. Like there is an explosion of new ideas. Like think of, you're sitting on the couch with your buddies and your buddy's like, "I've got an idea for a game." And now that buddy who's not a software developer can actually build that idea, can turn that concept into something real using coding agents. And so MCP is a step in that process to make the coding intelligence more intelligent and better use our data. So I'll throw it to Abel. That was longer than a sentence. That was more like a paragraph. But,
it's okay. We got the time.
Yeah, I think that provided a great overview. And yeah, from my personal experience, being part of the dev team past couple of years, this AI rollout has been pretty crazy pace with new tech coming out. Again, just so often. And it seems like MCPs are the latest step in that direction. And I think a good place to start with is just the problem it helps solve. And with that, usually what happens is, you're working with these AI agents and you want them to interact with some other application, whether that's getting some data through a product like DataFeeds of ours, or creating an account or posting something new. And essentially it has to work with all these different APIs. And all these different APIs essentially work in their own way, and they require everything to be perfect. If you're off by one character, it'll just break on you. And agents, they're a lot like people. They'll just try and have to learn how it works and then give it a shot, and hopefully it works out on the first try. If not, just a lot of trial and error in there. And that's if you're lucky. Sometimes there isn't documentation, or it doesn't know where to find that documentation, or API's got an update and it didn't catch it, and it can just keep running into these hurdles. And so really the idea behind a model context protocol, which is the MCP, is there a way to standardize this for these agents and make it easier for them to work with these APIs, and also put that learning process inside the API itself, rather than having a separate documentation or having to go through a separate source to try and figure out how it works. And yeah, that's where MCPs come in. So it provides a standardized way of interacting with these APIs for agents. And I could share my screen here and show a little bit about how that looks.
Well, while Abel pulls that up, just like adding some commentary, like the way that I envision it is we've got human readable, so that's like documentation, websites, etc. It all looks good. We like it as humans. And then there's machine readable, where a website isn't always the best way for an AI agent to understand what's going on. But when you put it into a machine readable format, it gets way smarter, way faster.
All right, just always trying to figure out these screens.
Screen sharing.
1 second
The,
here.
the other thing to kind of fill some air while you get that set up is, so we released the skill, and I'm sure Abel will show this. Maybe Abel will show this later. Is the skill is a a really good way to kind of install, directly connect and install on your favorite coding platform. In the future, like right now, our skill is using just our APIs, and we've kind of instructed, through the skill, here's how you use it. In the future, we're going to say the skill is probably going to get a lot simpler, and we're just going to say use the MCP, and then we'll have a bunch of different like workflows of like common scenarios, which is also included in the MCP, of like, here's how you build a scoreboard. Go to the schedule, then get the live game data. So the two connect with each other. You can use that skill for easy installation. You can also just connect your coding agent directly to the skill, which I think I'm probably Abel's going to show that. So I'll stop talking and throw it back to you.
Yeah, just want to confirm if we could see my screen here.
Yeah, looks good.
We're all good.
All right, awesome. So yeah, just got this demo set up, which allows us to see what's going on when we connect to an MCP. So usually your agent's just going to do this in the background automatically, but this helps provide a bit of a visualizer. So here we got our latest rollout, the MCP DataFeeds server, and we can connect to that. So usually when you're working with an API, the conversation starts out with, I need you to do exactly this. It's got to be precise, exact, perfect, and then the agent, the server will carry that out for you. But this means that you got to know exactly what you're doing before the conversation with the server even starts. The nice thing about the MCPs is they start their conversation out a bit differently. Instead of telling the server exactly what to do, it first asks, what can you do? And that's where we have this list tools. So we can give that a click, and this is connecting to our DataFeeds server, and it tells the agent exactly what it's able to do. So it can get depth charts for you, it can get events for you, it can get fields, injuries, live data, play-by-play, all sorts of different endpoints. And the nice thing is, usually these API endpoints have an exact URL. Instead, this lays it out in some natural language where it provides a description of what the endpoints can do. And so the agent can check out this catalog and see which tools best for the job. So it's a really nice way to bake in that learning into the actual communication itself, rather than having to go fetch some documents or try and learn it from a website or a bunch of trial and error. So one thing we can try out here is let's try grabbing some depth charts. So let's say in our conversation with our AI agent, we want to grab the depth charts for NBA. It's going to take a look through these tools. It's going to say, hey, depth charts with this description seems like the best tool for the job. So it's going to open that up. And the nice thing is it also provides some explainers for what exactly it needs to run. So here it's saying, hey, I need 2 inputs, a sport and a league. Sport, since we're asking for NBA, we can type in NBA here. And the league looks to be specifically for soccer. So we should be good on that. and we can run the tool, and we get our data back. So this is a really nice way of allowing agents to work with servers, because we don't need an exact URL nailed from the start. It can discover how the server works and pick the right tools that are best for the job, and also get some instructions along the way for what inputs are needed and what each tool does. So yeah, it provides a much more natural way of working with these servers and gets it running on the first start a lot more often. So yeah, that's a demo of the MCP servers overall. And I was thinking if there was maybe a fun way of demoing what we could do with this kind of data. So I was playing around with this, and one idea I came up with is, I don't know if you probably have heard of Wordle.
Nice.
Yeah.
The word guessing game.
It's a common game in my house.
Yeah. It's pretty popular stuff. I have a lot of fun with it. You got like 6 tries to guess the word. Let's see here. I'm just going to try one in. Yeah, if you're on the nose with one, you get a green. If you're close or misplaced, you got a yellow. And if you're off, you get a gray. There's one I was playing around with called Hurdle, which is for NBA players. So
Cool.
yeah, let's try, let's go with LeBron James, classic.
Just 76er legend.
Yeah. It seems like maybe they'll update him start of next season, but yeah, essentially it looks like for our player we're trying to guess, we got the position right. The player we want is younger than 41, older than 23, shorter than 6'9". So I was thinking, with our data, maybe we could build something like this. So I asked an agent, hey, can you try something like this for NHL? And it came up with Hurdle.
Nice.
I think it's Tom's Hurdle.
Yep.
So I was thinking
Homage.
maybe we can give this a shot and see how it goes. I haven't tested it out too much, but hopefully it could be some fun. So yeah, Steve, Caleb, if you guys want to take some guesses here and see how this goes with our DataFeeds data, that would be a fun little game segment.
Well, should we go with Caleb's new favorite player, Connor McDavid?
Soon to be Leaf.
All right, let's see McDavid. Okay.
Hey.
So looks like we got the right conference, but not the right team, not a center. Taller than 6'1", younger than 29, and a number less than 97.
So got to be central, younger. Go. Oof. Wow.
We're gonna go defenseman, I would say.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Who's a tall defenseman? That's in the West.
In the Central specifically.
What a
and
Parayko?
Is younger than, but he's older than 29.
Is he?
Oh yeah, Parayko's like 32, I think.
Who else is tall? It would be Central or.
You got a couple of guesses here, so maybe you
go.
To eliminate.
Go. Cutter Gauthier. Oh no, he's Pacific. He's not Central. He's Pacific too.
Yeah.
Central.
Like
Mikhail Sergachev. Go that. That's a tough one to guess, but he's tall.
To spell.
Yeah. SERG, and then it should pop up. Yeah. Top
okay, let's go. All right. Yeah, It is Central. As a defenseman, height's correct.
Oh, but the number, I forgot he was 98.
It's still younger.
6'3" is the right height. That's not going to give me much to go off.
No,
like,
that's a tough.
heights are tough. Also, I picked Sergachev was 98. That was not the best guess, but at least it got us.
Younger.
And
Plays
not Utah.
Not on Utah, but close.
So you got other teams. So you got Chicago, Nashville, St. Louis, Minnesota, Dallas. Oh, we could go Heiskanen. Right?
All right.
Yeah. Go Heiskanen. Heis, and then it should pop up. Yeah, Miro. There you go.
Oh, not
he's
Dallas
6'2".
He skates taller.
He does, definitely.
Still younger than 27.
We're getting there. 29, 28, 27. We're making it. This is good. Colorado doesn't really have, like, Cale Makar is not taller than 6'2". No. Nashville doesn't really have any young defensemen. St. Louis doesn't really have. Oh, we could go.
Kesselring.
I was going to say.
No, but he's on Utah. He's on Utah.
Go Philip Broberg. BROB. Yeah, that should pop up. Yeah. All right, so it's St. Louis. All right,
St. Louis.
He's 6'4".
He's younger than 25.
Oh man, on St. Louis, and he's tall. Maybe Kesselring is the guy.
But I don't know if he would be, because we probably haven't updated the.
Oh yeah,
yet.
right.
We do that soon.
I can't even think of St. Louis's depth chart right now.
I have to do some cheating.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Because it wouldn't have anybody new, so
it would be young.
Can't be Parayko, too old. Can't be Fowler.
I will say you guys have gotten pretty close to pinning this down with only 4 guesses, so pretty nice job so far.
So still younger? Like,
it's got to be somebody in the depth chart.
Try Logan Mailou. He would be shorter though, I think.
He's not that tall, but might work. Maybe he's taller than we think.
Oh,
that is correct.
There it is.
Oh wow!
Wow, I can't believe he's 6'3".
That's crazy.
That is shocking. This is a great game. Props.
Yeah.
This would. Yeah. I would be spending a lot of my day playing this.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with NBA 1, and yeah, it's awesome. Literally just fed it in that MCP and said, "Hey, with our data only in just this MCP, try running this game," and did a pretty nice job. So
Abel, did you one shot it? Like, was it a one shot, or did you have to kind of prompt it a few times to kind of get it the way that you wanted it to look and feel with the correct data?
With the functionality, it was pretty much a one shot because it could just explore the pretty much all the offerings from our server and picked out the right tools for the job. There's a couple tweaks with the design, of course. That's just more personal preferences here and there, but yeah, really just nailed it from the start. So I was pretty happy with it.
Can we make a change to it on the fly? Like,
I was hoping we could, but I actually ran out of tokens on my personal account this morning, funny enough. So just the timing of it ended up being a bit brutal. But I mean, if you had any ideas, we could share and talk about it.
Well, a question before we do that. So let's say you didn't have the MCP. How long would this have taken you compared to how long it took you?
Yeah, so if I was a everyday user using our DataFeeds API, traditionally that process would be either I would have to open up the documentation myself or would have to have the agent read through it and then go through that and try and figure out the best endpoint for the job. And let's see if I can open this up here again. So we have all of these different endpoints to read through and understand. And then we would have to get the exact URL we need and pass that in, and hopefully we got it perfect on that first try.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit of trial and error. This
Right.
is true of like any API. But now with the MCP, we get a nice description for each of these. So really when I was working with the agent and was just watching it run, I could see it look through all of these tools and would try to find the best one. And what was really interesting was it was saying that it could use the player info here to grab all of the players. But the other nice thing that it found out was it was saying, hey, maybe we don't want like fringe players or players who played a super short amount of time. So let's also take the player stats because it has player minutes and filter for a certain amount of minutes. And that was a suggestion it came up with. So it's really nice when it has that full offering and it understands what each endpoint does. Really helps also expand its creativity and what it's able to pull from it.
That's really cool. So, I mean, in a sense, like instead of you manually going and reading our API documentation, this is like a hands-on way of going through it, basically, and in a way better format too, because you're actually already on the road to building something instead of just being like, "Hey, we're reading this. We have questions about this. This is going to answer all those questions."
Yeah. And also documentations do a nice job for people to read through.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's still useful and definitely has a lot of use cases there. But the MCPs really do help out where it's focused on that agent AI experience. And yeah, it's like documentation for the AIs where helps explain the process and what's available as it works through it rather than having to know all of that up front.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with it.
And the other, maybe the last thing I'll mention that it helps with is to Abel's problem that he encountered this morning of token consumption. It makes it a lot more efficient. So like Abel said, you know, it will go through in the old way where you just had documentation, et cetera, REST API. It'll just go through and try things and hit the API, get a response back. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. I'll try to hit this again. It uses that feedback to then help write the code. Because it has a much better understanding of the shape of how the API works, the token consumption goes down quite a bit. And like we were talking about one-shotting before, it has a higher probability of like getting it right on the first try. So it's just more efficient. And then for the everyday, like non-technical person, when you have that greater understanding with your coding agent, then you're not having to like fiddle as much with the stuff that doesn't work. And if you don't understand the code behind the scenes, sometimes it can be a bit of a nerve-wracking process where you're like, just get this right. Why is it not getting this right? Well, it's because it doesn't understand. And so this gets it a long way towards that higher evolution of understanding.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Very cool.
One thing that reminded me of as well, in terms of saving the tokens, this was another cool use case I ran into. In our MCP, if you try and grab, let's say, all of the players, that's a lot of data for your agent to go through. And typically it wouldn't know that beforehand. So it would just try fetching all the players. It would get all of that information and it would be overloaded, essentially just using up the entire context window and eating up a ton of tokens. So when it was working with the player stats for that game demo, it had read this warning where it's saying, hey, if you try and fetch all the players, just know this is a lot of data to work with. So actually hand that off to a separate agent saying, hey, I'll create a second agent to read this data. And then from those findings, it'll report back to me. So my context window isn't completely eaten up by this. So really nice use case there as well, where just having all of this additional learnings baked into the API as you're using it really helps out with the agent experience there. So yeah, just keep finding these new ways where just finds a nice way of working with the data.
Cool. This was awesome. Any last comments, points? We don't have any questions or anything like that in the LinkedIn. So any last comments, Steve, Abel, from you before we send everybody off on the rest of their Thursday?
No, that was all for me.
Cool.
We should be rolling this out shortly, so
Nice.
yeah, should be able to let everyone get their hands on it pretty soon.
So
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, you know, we obviously demonstrated one cool idea, but if you're sitting at home and your buddy's saying like, "Oh, imagine there's this game," well, challenge him and say, "Go and build it,
Yep.
Fred. Now's the time."
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I talk to people all the time that are doing this now with just ideas that they've been like, hey, I've thought about this for years and now feels like the time. Yeah, they're right. This is the time now. You know, this is we're on it's a new frontier in a sense of what you can do and how you can build new things and ideas. And even if it's just for your friends, test it out. You know, we're here to talk. We have a 30-day trial, like we always say. Come talk to us, get things moving. Obviously, like Abel said, this is coming out soon, so you might as well get a jump on things and start talking to us now. And NFL regular season is just around the corner. Preseason is obviously starting tonight. So, you know, there's obviously got to be a rush on things for NFL season, but there's a lot of sports kicking off as well just around the corner. We're right there. So come talk to us. Reach out to Steve. Even Abel, reach out to him on LinkedIn. He's a good follow as well. Connect with him there. But yeah, reach out to us. Would love to chat with you and you know, hear your thoughts. So thanks for jumping on, guys. Abel and Steve. I think this was awesome. Super fun. Probably the most fun one we've had with actually getting to play a game. So that was cool. Props, Abel, for that. That was really fun.
Yeah, you guys did a great job on it. So yeah, a lot of fun.
If it was any other sport, I think I would have had a tougher time. NHL, thankfully, is our forte, so we did pretty well there. But thanks for jumping on, guys. That'll do it for August 6th developer stream. We will see you guys likely in a couple weeks with another topic that we'll probably just keep adding on to what we've been doing and hopefully helping you guys build some cool products. So thanks for jumping on, guys. We will see you next time.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.